Mr. President, you often wonder if speeches that you give on the floor of the Senate are heard by anyone. Most of us have spent some time working with staff to prepare remarks, to state a position, to make a plea, and you wonder if anyone is listening. Well, every once in a while something happens which renews your faith that perhaps there are people listening who can make a difference. Late last week, I had an amazing visit in my office upstairs here in the Capitol. From China, Pastor Ezra Mingri. He had been jailed for 266 days in a Chinese prison. His crime? He was operating a church, a Christian church, and at least 8 of his congregants remain imprisoned. Pastor Jin's daughter, Grace, and his 7-week-old grandson, also named Ezra, joined our meeting upstairs as well. Grace had worked tirelessly to draw attention to her father's case, and it was a joy to see them reunited. In our meeting, Pastor Jin told me that his prison conditions were very stark. While in jail in China, he was cut off from communications with his family, and his lawyers were harassed and threatened as well. President Trump raised the case with Chinese President Xi, and here in the Senate, Senator Cruz and I, on a bipartisan basis, passed a resolution calling for his release and the release of several other political prisoners in China. I welcome the Chinese government's release of Pastor Jin and call on them to release the remaining 8 members of his church as well as the following that I'm about to mention in my Senate resolution. Dr. Gulshan Abbas, Jimmy Lay, Zhao Quanfu and his wife Peng Yu, and Ebkar Assad. All of these people are noted on this poster, which I presented on the floor several weeks ago. Here's Pastor Jin with a smile on his face, the same thing in my office upstairs with his beautiful daughter and grandson. I wish the Chinese government would release the remaining individuals here that we have spotlighted in this presentation. Dr. Abbas, Jimmy Lay, Zhao Quanfu and Peng Yu, and Ebkar Assad. This would be a welcome move before President Xi's visit in September, as there is simply no reason to fear these people who've done nothing but otherwise exercise peaceful freedom of religion and expression.